Good afternoon, January 6th, 2020. Excuse me, 2020. Sounds weird to say that. Hope everyone's doing okay. Um, Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Commonwealth of Virginia, or what's known to other people outside as the State of Virginia, Commonwealth of Virginia. And gun control. The state of Virginia, in Richmond, the capital, primarily Democrat in office, are trying to implement firearm laws, gun laws that have restrictions similar to cities in around LA would be one, Los Angeles and California, of course, New York City, and then Chicago and New Orleans. And the legislature of the Commonwealth of Virginia has proposed that it would implement those style laws, where they actually do three things. They restrict purchases of clips that hold more than 10 rounds would be prohibited. Certain training would be prohibited, but the main three was clip limits, something like a bump stock or any sort of thing to make it more rapid fire, if you will, which somebody could make out back at the barn probably in 30 minutes if they know what they're doing or looked up on the internet. And then the big one was red flag laws as well, where, if they think somebody's got a gun up the street that might be unstable, they could just say, oh, we think they're nuts, and take their guns. All these things obviously are infringing on the Second Amendment. And then the regular one that's everywhere is they want to ban assault weapons, or assault type weapons. And I mean, it's really irrelevant. I remember I had a 22 automatic Marlin rifle, and it could have been devastating too. I mean, it held I think it was like 19 or 20 in the pipe, and then it was just auto fed. I mean, it could have been bad too. So, just the fact that it looks like an AR, looks like an M16, and an AK, is an AK, and you're an SKS or something, even, semi-auto. But the reality is the round of the AR is still a 223, and anybody wants to look it up, they can see the difference. And the real dangerous gun, I thought, in close quarters is still a 12 gauge shotgun, but maybe I'm not thinking. I think in the 2 3/4 inch round, there's about 9 to 10 pellets, and in the 3-inch round, there's about 13. And each one of those pellets, a double-aught buck, has the strength of a .357 Magnum at 30 feet. So I think people need to understand firearms too. So anyway, what the Commonwealth of Virginia wants to do is fix it so assault-style weapons can't be sold, even though they're not full auto, they're only semi-auto. They can't be sold. They want to limit the amount of clip space to only 10 rounds. They want to use these red flag laws to say, so-and-so up the street's unstable, let's take their guns. All these things going against the Second Amendment, as I said. And, of course, any manipulations of firearm, to make it like a bump stock or any other one to make it fire quicker, etc. And they got a term they're using for that. But the reality is, we have a right to freedom of speech and the right to exercise it. It's sort of like right now what I'm doing. So many of you have talked about it. I was kind of waiting to say something. I've been watching this in Virginia a while now, and this legislature is proposed this year. So we will see it. Now, the people of Virginia, and I have a number of friends, close friends and fraternity brothers and sisters who live there. And this is not being taken lightly by the citizens of Virginia. They have already implemented what they're calling a sanctuary city for firearms, only it's counties. Instead of immigrants, it's a sanctuary city for firearms, except it's a county. So it's a sanctuary county. 75 counties in Virginia have already approved sanctuary counties where firearm laws will not be utilized beyond the Second Amendment, which all these things does, that Richmond wants to do. It's sort of like the last time, Grant took Richmond, the Civil War, when Grant took Richmond. He did it with firearms. Yeah, who thought? And, the reality is the citizens in Virginia know about the importance of firearms, and you must look at those cities. If you want to look it up, it's obvious. Los Angeles, Chicago, New Orleans. New Orleans is almost the worst per capita wise, higher and significantly in lately. And LA, Chicago, New Orleans, the worst. So anyway, yeah, I spaced there for a second thinking about the whole concept that, you would take guns away. We got the First Amendment to free speech. We got the Second Amendment to back up the First Amendment. Right? Right. That's what I think. Anyway, this is a challenge going on in our country, and this time it's in the East, on the edge of the Midwest. And Ohio's right beside, and DC's in the middle. So this will be interesting. And I know damn well, just like my friends in Virginia have said, there is no way they're going to take our guns or do any of these things they want to do. So be glad we're still in America and have these rights, because they do keep us free, even though a lot of people don't want to admit it. I hope y'all have a good night. Thanks for listening. Don't be afraid to subscribe, or at least that's what Miller told me to say. Talk to y'all soon. Take care. Peace out.